Greetings once again, multiversal soul familia. In this session, we are bringing in our allies. Yes, you heard that correctly. We are bringing in our A team. So, messages from our angels, ancestors, and ascended master selves. Beginning with the concrete shamanism shadow work deck and guidebook. Alright. We are also going to be bringing in archetypes in other manners, allies in other manners. I just have the 3 decks chosen at this time. We will just have to see where this goes. We're going to attempt to keep this one a bit short as well. So let's get right into it, shall we? Going into the concrete shamanism shadow work deck first. For a significator archetype, part of the theme of this session is also going to be where we may have been communicating unconsciously some inaccuracies, where allies will now be coming in to guide us in course directing. So here we go. Significator archetype for the collective. Okay, we have overbearing in reverse. Where have we actually been called to defend ourselves more, not less, more? Where has it been necessary in the present moment to stand 10 toes down? Like being firm, more firm, not in an overbearing ogre sense though. I see where the untruth, so to speak, lies. The inauthenticity lies in backing off about a person, place, thing, or situation when we're actually being called to stand our ground. So, where do we need to stand our ground more, not less? And what people, places, things, situations, insights, and teachable moments are going to come in to assist us. A testament to nature's raw, unyielding power. And the inquiry and focus is, how do I ensure equality in my relationships? And in this particular session, Where do we need to stand our ground? Where do we need to stand our ground to ensure equality in our relationships? And we're not talking about that eye for an eye BS either, or subtle digs. That's not where we're going with it. Let's go into Wisdom of the Hidden Realms to determine more, bringing in some allies for teachable moments and insights on how and what we can do to be accountable on our end, but stand our ground at this time. We just made a full pass, so from the bottom and already in the present, in the immediate environment, we have the Arrow Master hitting the mark, intention and detachment. So we're right back to that law of detachment and just letting go of what others seem to insist about us. When we clearly are on target, with pinpoint accuracy. And the shenanigans are in our crosshairs, I just heard. Here we are, standing our ground. Energetically, this is touching on holding space for others without losing ourselves. As I'm called to reach for Oracle of Visions for more insight to assist us with this ally, the Arrow Master. Recognizing and redefining what it means to be helpful, continuing to do our own inner work, and focusing on what we can control. Staying connected and compassionate without losing ourselves. It's not avoidance, it's balance. Just like we have to balance that arrow before we can even aim. Let that sink in, beloveds. The arrow must be balanced before we can even aim. And part of this aim is redefining what it means to be helpful focusing on what we can control, continually doing our own work, and not being swayed from it. 1010 on the timer with the number 10. So, guess what that means? We are going to be taking a look at angel number 1010. Because it's an everybody for everybody number. Virtue. Unconditional love without losing sight of our virtues is what I just heard. With the 1 and the 0 repeating twice. Opportunities for growth, mental clarity, decluttering our thought processes, and we can question another's accuracy without calling it out. I don't know about you guys, but I got off of that carousel of insanity a long time ago. So if it shows up in my prior work and content and you have access to it, it's meant to be. So that series of transformations is evident. Making an example of myself instead of others without it being deprecating. There's also this energy of reunions and meetings of some kind that is extremely relevant. I'm hearing platonic allies in the physical as just as much as this other form of energy showing up for us as our ally. Shooting straight for the stars, beloveds. Aligning our intention with spirit before we release those arrows, though. But then we allow those arrows to be directed by the divine. Unencumbered by eagerness to see it travel exactly the way we would think it's going to go. In terms of backing off instead of standing our ground. Just because we think it would veer a certain way in reaching our initial goals. Sometimes we're just going to have to honor another's free will when they take it upon their free will to choose to be offended or talk smack or allow their own low-level spirits and energy to be the lords of their vices. The divine has its own idea of how the arrows fly and what wind it carries. So, we're being guided to continue to stand our ground and stand firmly. Half, not even half the aim, half the prize, half the intended goal is that connection, deeper connection even, with the divine and that trust. And rest assured that we are on point. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's go now into the Wild Unknown Archetypes Pocket Edition by Kim Kranz 2. Determine what other archetype ally is coming in for the collective at this time that is necessary in this particular moment, and that would be whenever you hear this for you. It was placed on my heart by not a guide, not a mentor, but a sister of mine to be a bit more like in the present and in the now moment with some of these sessions. Oops, we just had 2 archetypes separate while I was babbling on. Anywho's, we're just going to go with it. We have the mirror and the mask. Whoa. You want to talk about trading in the mask for the mirror. Again, this is not with that eye for an eye, dog eat dog approach. Everyone has masks that they wear to save face sometimes. Not to be deceitful or malevolent or malicious. But there's also some mystic teachings about those who may have some kind of attachment when they stick their tongue out. But also some kind of destructive intent behind that gesture that has been placed on my heart in the last couple of days. And in terms of any of us getting called out on what we chose to share publicly and then decided to take a more reserved approach, it doesn't make it any less authentic or true. And what they're demonstrating is what they think about themselves. Ruminating from behind their own masks. And putting it in this manner is not giving anyone permission to go be hateful or to seek some kind of vengeance or get on some kind of gossip train or any of that negative, low level energy, low vibe type of behavior, and just I don't know about you guys, but just about every time now that I start to feel a certain kind of way about a person, place, thing, or situation, I immediately start looking within. Even though I have done nothing wrong, am not doing anything wrong, and will not do anything wrong, I go digging in the shadows for gold in here. Instead of going and digging around. Now I'm talking about personal life level type of stuff here. It's part of my divine purpose to be here offering these storytelling sessions, regardless of how it's done, whether it's just messages that have been placed on my heart, or using different decks similarly to how teachers would flashcards, or to read from a book. It's all authentic to me. And that soft voice that you hear from me when I first rise, that is me. My most authentic self, before the mundane and the matrixy starts to come alive again and start throwing their own arrows. But we're not firing back at the world anymore. That's not what we're doing. The mask for the mirror. Interesting. Revealing what has been suppressed. See? Confirmation of what I was saying with the mask card about how we hold back because we're so guarded about coming off as condescending or overconfident or egotistical, or like we're trying to force our beliefs on others, or any of that. We hold back, and sometimes we're guided to do so more by our heart center and not some kind of low level spirit like guilt or shame or self-doubt. Wow. Speaking of getting in touch with other parts of ourselves, is like this is even guiding us to like meditate on our original face, the one we had before our mother and father were born. One that's empowering, marvelous, fun. Who was it you were being? It's that who still within you. noticing that within others and reflecting that, mirroring that back to them. And it doesn't make anyone inauthentic in doing so. It's really just opening up more opportunity for us to not hold back and express and share and expose not the inauthentic parts of self and others, but the most authentic parts of ourselves and others. But again, in terms of others, it's more about uplifting, empowering, inspiring, and showing them golden nuggets within themselves that also fortify that belief. Whoa. That you are right where you need to be in this now moment. And when you start to feel a little triggered and misaligned, just reset your intention. Yep, witnessing deeper self and peer awareness are our allies. Thank you, Spirit, because I don't think at this time I could have said it any better myself. Revealing what has been suppressed. More empowering, marvelous, and fun. The OG before the mother and father were born. Speaking more gently and kindly to ourselves in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. Recognizing the power and the danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put it down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. But the message for us at this time, this is so that we stay on track here with the energy, is more about standing our ground and not allowing others to force their beliefs about our authenticity upon us, and shielding ourselves from their comparisons. We're not the ones doing the comparing. No, we are the ones in that peer awareness at this time. And because of that, sometimes even new triggers may arise. Like, wow, I never realized that this and this type of situation with such and such person, place, thing, blah, 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 could actually make me more curious about why they would even say, do, or think like that. Because in the shadow, it's narcissism, comparison, and harsh edges. But it's not in the shadow for us. Interesting. Let's bring in some allies. Some more A-team energy from Oracle of Visions. And then we're going to go into the Hungarian Gypsy to determine what other type of energy these allies are going to bring along with them into the now moment. To furthermore fortify and secure things as we continue to stand our ground. The Femme Fatale in reverse. In reverse. This card was also in reverse, and this one is in the upright. So, we're going to take a look at number 16 first. First intuitive note is a more expanded worldview coming in for us as we continue to stand our ground. Let's see what the book has to say. Yes, perspective. Distance not only gives nostalgia, but perspective and maybe objectivity. So yeah, this is like also saying with the Arrow Master that by distancing ourselves from that type of energy propaganda I just heard, it is other low-level spirits in our environment creeping into our orbit. It's test. We have to test the arrow before we release it. Align. Test. Representing issues in the collective's life. Striking a balance when assessing situations. Are we too closely involved or should we step back? See, that's exactly what's been going on, though. That constant assessing. Gee, is this a step in or step back? Gee, is this a lean in or lean back? And for the most part, we're being guided to lean in. Stand our ground. Because we do have a higher vantage point. Because this card also represents higher vantage points, even though it's not stated in those exact words. Distance from the influence of others. personal contemplation. So what I was just saying about how for quite some time now, no matter the situation and encounter, it's like when I feel faced with something, triggered or otherwise, I first go inward now. And I thank that trigger for that curiosity, but also the optimism and that willingness to go deeper for a broader perspective. Okay, that's as far as we need to go with that card. Now let's take a look at number 26 and what it represents in reverse. I don't think I've really ever been focused on that with this card before. And it's all about fresh starts, past and future. The past still providing value as a reference for reflection and for appraisal and lessons learned. And keys that will open doors to new opportunities. So already we're in this broader perspective that is increasing possibilities for us as well as new opportunities. You just have to turn the page to be fully present. I just heard you just have to turn the page to be fully present. That quick. And then we have the number 27 in reverse. This is the femme fatale of this deck. Not my words and accusations, but, and I will show you with receipts, the custom interpretation of this card in italics, femme fatale. Right there, femme fatale. So this is saying that another one of our allies is that we are not the shallow type whatsoever, and have even been the type to give others multiple chances. So there it is. No longer we're no longer taking the bait. That catfishing and femme fatale, Jezebel, Ahab, succubi, incubi energy no longer has an effect. They just fell on their face. It just fell on its face. Those low-level spirits just fell on their face. I really want to get some of those Venus flytraps too. I know that they would be really super duper handy, especially in the spring and summer, helping keep down the pest population. Our allies, beloveds, are guiding us and assisting us in keeping down the pest population. You hear that, pest? Our 18 is keeping it down and toning it down, creating a more balanced ecosystem. Wonderful, wonderful news. Yes. Possibly we've all met this energy before. We have all met her in some guise and gender, possibly not even in a human form, but as a situation, a place, or an invitation to act. Declined. Invitation declined. We're no longer cutting any losses for old situations, people, places, and things. Just to keep it simple. What else to draw this to a close with the Hungarian Gypsy, just as stated. Okay, we have fidelity is neutralized. So that's just meaning that there isn't any need to really focus in that area at this time, because we are being true to ourselves and others. And the letter is also neutralized. So this also means that there isn't anything more to say or allow others to send our way in terms of that type of energy, people, places, things, situations, and that's on God, who always has our back. Always, always, always has our back. Oh, look, unexpected joy is out again. And there's more to come from it, but it's not going to happen when we expect it. That's where that energy of handing it over to Source came in. That law of detachment with the Arrow Master. We are on the mend with Malady in reverse. And there will not be any unexpected visits anytime soon. More positive energetic exchanges also coming in as allies. And from allies, I just heard. Some of them may even be an older woman. It could be an elder family member or a friend or an older like found family in your community. The gauntlet has been handed over to us. We get to decide who we are, and we're the ones holding the scales. Falseness in reverse. Authenticity is our greatest gift. Secured, fortified, stable, signed, sealed, and delivered. That's the message. Just keep doing whatever it is that you have been doing. Not much needs to change in this now moment. Merriment. Even more confirmation that we're already on the right track. We are the innovator of it, I just heard. And with the death card showing itself, that is indication that it is time to draw this to an end. Thank you so very much for the reminder to put things to bed. Peace is our number one priority. Peace of mind is our number one priority. And our peace in and of itself is priceless. Thank you, thank you, thank you for listening with much gratitude and appreciation. Multiversal Soul Familia. From my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings.